Hello there, I'm Josh from Audiophile-Heaven, and today we're having a look at the TRT i4 EMs. So those are basically some IEMs from China. If I'm not mistaken, they are somehow connected to the K-Bay ear. So basically what we have here is an IEM that is a dual driver setup with one balanced armature from Knowles and one dynamic driver. So you can find the address to find the company here. So what can I tell you about those ones from the start is that they have a very good build quality. This is a compliment that they really earned. This is a $70 EM and it looks quite like this. This has to be one of the most fancy presented EMs I have reviewed today. Just look at this. This is a leathery, I don't even know how to name this material in English, but it is a very smooth, very interesting pouch design. It offers your EMs exactly zero protection from falling or from being pressed. So it is not the most protective kind of option, but it is a very fancy one. Those are the EMs. As you can see here, this EM will not receive a full written review, just the video review on Audiophile-Heaven. So I'm trying to do the best information setup I can here. You get a lot of EMs with this one of ear tips. So here you have green lime silicone tips. You have a pair of foamies, and you have more black tips like the ones installed already on it. You get a little booklet with informations about it, which also acts as a warranty card. And that is pretty much it about the introduction of the EM. You pop them out of the carrying case like this. This is how you remove them from the carrying case, and those are the EMs themselves. You can see them right here. So they have a very beautiful design, as you can see here. They are absolutely stunning. I have seen very few EMs that look this good and are this cool looking. This is entirely made of metal, and they will be very cold when you put them in your ears the first time. They rely on MMSX connectors, and they have detachable cables, but as you know, for an EM that is this cheap, having detachable cables maybe isn't that necessary. On the other hand, having detachable cables means that you can rotate them inside the MMSX socket, which is kind of cool to me. The default cable is not that great. It is black in color and it is pretty flexible. It has zero microphonic noise, but I don't know. It is a bit sticky. Not very, just a tiny bit. I don't want you to think it is one of those sticky kind of cables. It is pretty long, enough for most purposes. It is not a short cable at all. They can be worn only over the ear, and they go kind of like this inside your ear. They isolate you very well from the outside noise. You get very little noise inside of them, so at least 20 decibels of passive noise isolation they have in my tests. I don't know how much the company quotes because there is very little information on the package. But what I can tell you from the package is that they have 103 decibels of sensitivity and 12 ohms. Yeah, they are very easy to drive. I've been driving them from the iBasso DX160, and they are very easy to drive. They get very loud very quickly. You can't even go near the maximum volume. About half of the volume they are already very loud, and probably at the loudest I would normally listen to. So the aesthetic is beautiful, the build quality is excellent, they have zero issues, no driver flex, no microphonic noise. Pretty much it is an excellently built, excellently made, excellently designed EM. I think that it is pretty much very good for this price point, and normally at this price point you don't expect a lot of sound quality, and it doesn't have a lot of sound quality. The sound quality is very weird. It is a very colored kind of sound. It has strong bass, but also very strong upper mid-range. It has very weak treble, so it doesn't work well with metal because it doesn't have a lot of cymbal crash, but they get sibilant pretty quickly. They also are a bit harsh on the treble. They are about as harsh as I can accept an EM to be. For example, these cheaper, much less interesting KB ear EMs, the F1, this is a very odd situation because those KB F1 had many iterations with different setups, but no way to tell them apart, which is it is very complicated for me to tell you which one is this one because it has no encryption on it. I just know that it is the newest, supposedly. At any rate, the i4, if I'm not mistaken, the Tier i4 or Tier T i4, it is TRI, it is not Tier T. I was very convinced that the name of the company was Tier T, not Tier I. At any rate, this one, those ones, the blue ones, the metallic ones, the i4 ones, are pretty harsh in the treble, pretty sibilant, much more than I think I am okay with. You probably will be using those with dubstep, with electronic music. They work very well there. I mean, excellent. They work well with pop music. They work well with female voices for some reason, but they do not work very well with male voices. They do not work well with emo, screamo, metal. No, that is a no-go. They work fairly well with jazz and they work fairly well with classical, but that is pretty much their usage scenario. If you listen to one of those music styles that they work well with, I recommend them to you. You should be getting them. If you do not listen to one of those music styles, I do not really recommend them because, for example, for metal, they do not have air, they do not have a lot of cymbal energy. For electronic music they work well, but for example for jazz they are a bit harsh and a bit sibilant. For heavy metal they are just, I don't know, they really lack the cymbal crashes, and the extension in the upper treble is pretty low. I thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you'll consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Press the like button if you like this video. I hope you have a lovely time in there and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.